Now guys, many people of you ask themselves right now, am I actually able to jailbreak my Switch? Is my Switch on the right state? First things first, the update which you have installed right now on your Switch doesn't depend on anything. If you have your Switch right now on the version 16.0.0, maybe even 9.0.0 or 18.1.0 or even one that is more in the future, it doesn't care at all, because the jailbreak itself is through an internal exploit. An internal exploit is actually the thing the modding community is using for that you can jailbreak your Switch at the very end. And the internal exploit isn't through an update or a software found. This means you can use this internal exploit, this bug of the device that is in the hardware or not in the update, independent on which update you have right now installed. I hope you can see what I mean. It isn't possible to just patch this internal exploit. You can't do it with software because we are using hardware, the hardware of the Switch itself, to go into an RCM mode. And this RCM mode means nothing else than the recovery mode, alright? And this is something you should definitely know. Next to it, there are only two options for every one of you to use the Nintendo Switch. And I'm going to explain right now for everyone, if you are a beginner or advanced one, how the jailbreak works actually. Like, I think every one of you can learn right now something here about it, because I still think that many people don't get it right. So what I'm going to do is right now I'm doing here a square, and this is our system, alright? This is the Nintendo Switch here. This right now here is the Nintendo Switch. And what we want to do, alright guys, as you can see, what I did right now here is that we have here right now the Nintendo Switch of ours, as you can see here. What we want to do is to get into the boot menu at the very end. For that we can, like, at the very end jailbreak the Switch itself. Now for getting into the boot menu we only have two options here, okay? Right, so you have only two ways how you can go into the boot menu. For that you at the very end can do all those things here, as you can see what we have here. And just that you know, right now if you're clicking on the power button here on the Nintendo Switch, you will directly go into the normal boot, OFW or the stock. This is like the normal Nintendo Switch, how you know it all the time. What we want to achieve is this jailbreak here, right? And the cool thing about this is if we can go into the jailbreak, into the custom firmware, we also have like the additional freedom to get into Android and Linux. Yes, we can turn that device to an Android device or a Linux device. But yeah, what I wanted to tell you right now is to get into the boot menu, we have only two options, all right? First things first, you have a mode chip, or secondly, you have an unpatched Switch. Alright, so for you to being able to go into the boot menu, you either have a mode chip in your Switch, and this is right now this Switch here which I have, or you have an unpatched Switch, which is actually this Switch here. So I'm going to show you both of those switches because there isn't like a big difference in between both of them. So what you right now ask yourself is, wait, I don't have any mode chip installed, I don't have like soldered anything inside my Switch. So how do I know if I have an unpatched Switch or not? What you want to do, first things first, is to go ismyswitchpatch.com. This is a website, you will find the link inside the description, and as you can see, you will find here the prefix of your serial number of the Nintendo Switch. And you will find this actually here. If you look it from the front, it will be here, alright, on the left side down from your Switch. I don't want to release like my prefix right now. It will start with XA, so as you can see you will have XAW1, XAW4, XAW7, etc. Now if your Switch is an OLED Switch or a light Switch, you definitely need to have a mode chip inside. And also, if you have here a prefix that is not inside this list, as you can see here on ismyswitchpatch.com, then it's 100% patched. And if it's patched, it means that you aren't able to jailbreak the Switch without a mode chip, because it needs to be unpatched or you have a mode chip inside the Switch itself. Now let's say, like my unpatched Switch, I have XAJ7, as you can see. And after the 7, we need to put in at least, I think, oh yeah, okay, alright. We only need 3 to 6 like numbers which we put in afterwards. And as you can see, your console is not patched array. The other options which you have is your console is potentially patched, means that it could be patched, but it could be also unpatched. If this is the case, then just do with us this video here. And if you have a black screen when we are trying to boot up the Switch with Tigra RCM, then it's 100% patched. I'm sorry for you. We have right now the Nintendo Switch and we want to get into the boot menu. And for that, what we want to do right now, is to get the files on our micro SD card, okay? But there are like several things we need to do with the micro SD card at the very beginning for it that it works. Now that we know if we are able to actually jailbreak our Switch and we know what we are doing with jailbreaking our Switch, the requirements for jailbreaking a Switch are firstly, you will need to have a micro SD card, a micro SD to USB adapter. As you can see here, I can put in my micro SD card. You will need to have a USB-C to USB connection or USB-C to USB-C so that you can like connect your Nintendo Switch with your computer. And if you have an unpatched Switch, it's very, very important for you to have this little jiggy thing here. And this is called the RCM jig. Now, if you don't have an RCM jig, you should find it like for $2 to $3 on AliExpress. So just type in RCM jig. And that should be actually everything you need for jailbreaking your Switch. Now let's begin with the actual video. The first thing we want to do is to connect our micro SD card with our computer. What we want to make sure is that our micro SD card is formatted to FAT32. What we want to do right now is to open a partition manager, and I have right now downloaded our May partition assistant, and you can download whatever you want to. You can also do it over Windows, but over Windows it won't work all the time, so I'm going to use a partition manager. Once you see that your micro SD card is only one partition, you can right click it. You can click on create partition if you don't have already one. And what you want to make sure is to have the file system on FAT32, okay? Once you have that, you click just on apply and proceed. If you have like only one partition, and you won't click on create partition actually, you just want to click on format partition and make sure that you have FAT32 here inside. This will be most likely the most used, and then you can like here put in anything you want. I'm right now clicking here on Switch SD or typing in Switch SD and then apply and then proceed. And what it actually will do is change our USB drive E right now to Switch SD E. Congratulations, okay. And as you can see, we have right now a FAT32 here on our Switch SD. And it is completely free, which is definitely a good thing. I all the time hate it when you have here a little bit stuff inside, even though it's a new partition or a new drive at the very end. So what we are going to do right now is to click here on it, and as you can see, it's completely empty. I love that. Now you have like two options. You can get like with the normal packages, with which you will have like only the things which you need for having your Switch jailbreaked, or you can go with my Patreon way, where you pay $5 per month and you will get a mega package out of it, in which you will have security, 50 apps, themes, and much more things inside. And I will also put like timestamps on the timeline so that you can like jump where you want to go. But if you only want like the normal package, you will need to join our Telegram. I will put a link inside the description, and you will get here. This is like the announcements channel or announcements group. I'm not sure how you call this on Telegram. But what you want to do is to click here on pinned message, and then you can click here on Better Gaming once again, because then you will join our Better Gaming chat. And here you will find homebrew packs, and inside the homebrew pack you will find Switch custom firmware 18.1.0. Now, if you're downloading this, you will get those files here inside. And you want to basically just copy paste everything from here over here to the left side. And it will take about 1 minute. Now, while it's doing this, I'm actually showing to you quickly how the Patreon works. So yeah, guys, if you want to use the mega package, which has like over 50 apps and much more things inside, as you can see, you can go through everything here for finding out what you will get. This is like literally everything of this here is inside. And this is a very cool thing, so you can like basically get all of this with one copy paste, and I will all the time update it. And you will also get for being at the same time a supporter many themes which you can install. And I'm doing those themes on my own with AI generating right now at the specific moment. So it's definitely a big plus for the community. And if you want to do this, you will need to be a Patreon member. And once you are a member, you want to go into the settings, click here on more, then connected apps, connect with the Discord app. For that you are actually afterwards on our Discord server, where we have over 13,000 people at the moment. And here you will get access to channels which you wouldn't have without the Patreon subscription. And as you can see, you will find here under MEGAPACKAGE like 4 parts which you can download. Most likely there will be between 4 to 5 parts. And yes, they're all the time updated to the newest versions. And as you can see, once you have all of those 4 parts, you want to right click all together. Click here on WinRAR. If you don't have it, just download it and install it. It's very easy. Just go on Google and search for WinRAR. And then extract to MEGAPACKAGE 18.1.0 version 3. This will combine all of those 4 packs to one folder where you will have all of those files inside. And for you, it's actually the absolutely same. Simply as that, just paste everything from here inside. Now, if you already had like your Switch jailbroken and you want to update, it's actually the absolutely same. Just copy paste everything from the MEGAPACKAGE here inside, or from the normal package, just put everything here inside. And if it asks you to replace stuff, then just click on yes, you want to replace everything there is to replace. We are quickly waiting until this here is done with copying everything over. Alright guys, now that we have like all files here on our microSD card, it's like very simple. If you have right now a mode chip switch, just as this one here, okay? What you would need to do is to put your microSD card here back into your switch. Now we have our switch powered off. We have the files here inside, and we made sure that the mode chip is inside. We just click here on the power button, and we will see here something light up, okay, until it's lighting up green, and we will go here into Hekate. This is the boot menu. We talked earlier about it, as you can see here. Now, as you can see right now, we are in the boot menu, and the boot menu of the Nintendo Switch is called Hekate. Hekate, however you want to call it. As you can see, this is the way how you can get into it if you have like a mode chip switch. Now, if you have your unpatched switch right now here, first things first, make sure that you will take your microSD card, of course. So I just put it right now, the microSD card here back. Now what we want to do is to take the right part of the Nintendo Switch and put the RCM jig here inside. As you can see, I will just take this and put it here inside until it makes clack. And once you have it here on the most bottom side and it makes clack, what you want to do is to hold the plus or volume up button here. Just going to click here on it. The volume up button, you hold it all the time while clicking once on the power button. Once, okay? After you did this, what you want to do is to connect your Nintendo Switch with your computer over the USB-C to USB cable. You need to make sure that you have Tegra RCM downloaded. Okay. I will put the link inside the description of it. This here is Tegra RCM. Just download the zip file of it, alright? As you can see, what we want to do is to click here on Tegra RCM EX file. And you can just run it however you want to. You can like even take the folder firstly out. But what you want to do once you have it on is to go here on settings and then click on install driver. I have it right now, so I can't click on it right now again. But once you have the driver installed, guys, and your Switch is connected with your computer, you will see here an RCM OK. If I take it out, it's no RCM. If I take it in, it's RCM OK. Out, in, out, in. Whoa. Okay, no, I'm just joking. But as you can see right now, you can click here on the folder icon actually. And what you want to find is the Hekate point bin file, alright? And right now the newest version would be Hekate 6.2, but it doesn't matter actually. You can like take whatever you want to. Now, if you don't know where you want to get it, you will find it all the time inside the MEGAPACKAGE or the normal package. Either you will find it here on the root. It is called Hekate point bin file. You could like even take the payload point bin file, but yeah, the other way would be to go to bootloader and then payloads, and here you will find it. Just Ctrl-Z it, Ctrl-V it to your desktop and you have it. And like I said before, like you could like even take this one here, Control Z, Control E. It's actually the same thing, which I just put it here inside for that it works with mode shift switches. But payload.bin file is actually this Hekate.bin file, but I needed to rename it to payload.bin. For that, the mode chip on the mode chip switch directly can find it. If you click on the power button for starting the switch, it will search for the payload.bin on the root of your micro SD card, and it finds it and it will use it to boot. Right now, as you can see, we want to do the exact same thing with Tegra RCM on our unpatched switch without a mode chip inside that does it like automatically, which means if we are right now here, and we chose, as I said before, Hekate.bin file. I click on inject payload. Alright guys, forget what I said before. You will need to take out the Tegra RCM folder out of the zip file. I thought it would work like this, but it doesn't. I'm not sure why, but it doesn't work like this. You will need to have like the folder out of it. You will need to open up Tegra RCM like this. Go to settings, make sure to install driver, and then here search for the .bin file like I showed before. And if you click then on inject payload, as you can see, there is another educational moment where I want to show you now something. What we can do right now is just to click here on payloads, and then we could click on view z.bin. For that we would like directly go into our jailbroken switch, or what we also could do would go to launch here and then custom firmware sysnand. Right now you will ask yourself, what the hell is sysnand and what the hell is emuMMC, or in other words Emunand? And then we have a stock sysnand. The difference between those two, the custom firmware sysnand and the stock sysnand, is that in custom firmware sysnand we have actually the jailbroken Nintendo Switch, while if we would go to the stock sysnand, we would have a normal boot OFW stock, which means it doesn't matter what we have installed for apps, etc. We don't have like any broken switch booted up. Means if we click on stock, we can do this. We can do switch things like all the time like before. While if we go into custom firmware sysnand, we have like the jailbreak inside. Now, guys, comes the part. I'm not sure why no one is talking about it, but we have actually an emuMMC, as you can see here. And emuMMC is actually only called the installation of an Emunand. Means after we have an emuMMC installed, we have an Emunand. And what is an Emunand is like right now from many people the question, and many people don't understand it right, okay? From the boot menu out, as you can see, we have our Nintendo Switch. We go into the boot menu, which is right now Hekate, and from Hekate we can choose different boot up options at the very end if we want to go into the jailbreak custom firmware or the normal boot custom firmware. But those two are still on the same system, right? If we go into the custom firmware, it will take the original firmware here and just customize it, okay? If you have like jailbroken apps installed inside this custom firmware here, they will actually show up on your normal boot. Means those two are connected here inside this system. What we can now actually do to prevent this, because we don't want to get banned, you know, we don't want to give out information that we are actually doing homebrew stuff. We want to have a little privacy here. So what we are going to do is actually to make a complete copy, create an emulated system of the system 1. We want to have a second system that is emulating system 1. And this means we have a complete copy of the original firmware of our Switch. So what we're going to do is to make an emuMMC. For that, if we want to use custom firmware, we only use it with our emulating system. And if we want to go to the normal boot up, we can make that with system 1. If our emulated system gets even bricked because we have installed like some sort of an app that is destroying our Switch, only our emulating system getting bricked and getting destroyed, while we have still our fixed system 1. Isn't that great? It is great. Everyone is doing this who knows it, guys. Like everyone is doing this who knows it, and I'm not sure why no one is talking about this. It's a huge lack of information which people don't give you, and I'm not sure why. I actually wanted to chill inside the scene because I was like, you know what, I had my time here inside, but it's like just weird to see how no one is actually going to do the real work here. So I just came back for all of you to show you how it's done the right way. Now guys, for doing this, it's like very simple. What you want to do is to go here on emuMMC, And what we want to do is to create an EmuMMC. Okay, so then we will need to create an EmuMMC. So we will click on create EmuMMC. And what we want to do is to SD partition. This will like do a partition on our micro SD card. We will click here on OK. And what it actually will do is, if we go now here on EmuMMC raw, we will need to go to 29 full. Now, if you have an OLED switch, you will need to go on, I think, 58 full. I'm not sure if it's 1-to-1 like the double the size as here, but it will take a little more space. But you will definitely have here a full. What it will do is copy the host, which is the Horizon operating system, which is the operating system of the switch, and it will copy paste it into your micro SD card as if you have which means you will have afterwards a fully working Switch system on your Nintendo Switch, but you will also have a fully working Switch system on your micro SD card. And this is something very cool to have, and I just wanted to show every one of you how you do this. Now, since after we do this, it will like actually delete all the files which we have in our micro SD card, so you will afterwards need to put everything back here inside. Something else I wanted to tell you is that if you would want to have Android on your Nintendo Switch or Linux, then you should give right now space for it, because otherwise you would need to delete everything once again on your micro SD card. But right now I'm just going to show you how you can jailbreak it. So once you have your EmuMMC on full here, you just need to click on next step. Then you will need to click on start, and it will start and begin to partition everything in 5 seconds. This goes very, very quick. We will click here on the power button. Afterwards, once it's done, it's okay. You can click on OK, then here on close. So once we did this, what we want to do is once again to click here on create EmuMMC, then once again on SD partition. And as you can see right now, we have part 1, so we can click here on part 1. And what it will do is it will copy right now the whole system onto our micro SD card. So this will take around 15 to 30 minutes. Depends if you have a core switch, a light switch, or a Nintendo Switch OLED. But right now it will take 15 minutes. Alright guys, now it took even faster than I thought. It only took like about 8 minutes. And once it's done, you can like actually close it. And as you can see, EmuMMC is enabled. Now guys, afterwards what we want to do is to click here on tools, and then we want to click on USB tools and then SD card. What we want to do is to connect our Switch now with our computer over the USB-C to USB cable. And as you can see, it will boot it up. And as you can see, we don't have like many folders here inside again. So what we're going to do, because this happened because of the partition, I'm sorry that I'm actually showing it to you only right now, but just simply copy paste everything once again here inside. Just redo the thing as I showed you before with the MEGAPACKAGE 2 and just copy paste everything here inside. If it asks you to replace stuff. Just to make it clear right now, you don't need those files here inside. If you have the MEGAPACKAGE, you can just directly only put all those files from the MEGAPACKAGE here inside, because those files are already here inside. And yeah, right click the Switch SD and eject it, okay? Or just the SD which you have inside your Switch. Click here on close, home. And now guys, if we want to open up our custom firmware like the jailbroken Switch, we can click here on launch and then custom firmware EmuMMC. And this is something very cool, because right now we have like 2 systems like I told you before. Alright guys, and as you can see right now we are here on the Switch as we know it, because right now we don't have like any themes installed. It's just as the normal Switch. But if we go here into the album menu, we will get essentially here into the HB menu, and this means the homebrew menu. And here we can do lots of things if we have apps installed, alright? And that's the cool part of the MEGAPACKAGE. If you have the MEGAPACKAGE right now, at the beginning it will actually also just look like a normal Switch, but if you go then afterwards here into the HB menu, you will have all of those apps right now here inside. And as you can see, with the NX Themes installer afterwards, you will get even themes with the MEGAPACKAGE. You can go here into themes and you can click on which theme you want to have. Right now we want to have the Evil Zelda AI generated, and you can like install all of those themes. Every single one of them is for one of the pages on your Switch. Click on plus and it will install like all of them together, so that you have afterwards this theme installed. You will just need to reboot your Switch afterwards. But yeah guys, there is actually one thing more I wanted to show for the unpatched Switch user, for rebooting your system, and you will essentially go into Hekate. But right now, as you can see, if you are here on your unpatched Switch, what you are able to do is to click here on reboot to payload, and then you can click here on the minus button, and it will reboot essentially into Hekate once again. So you are right now once again here inside. What you can do right now is to go to tools, then Archbit RCM, and then auto RCM on, okay? Because normally it would be off just as that. What you can do right now, if this here is on, is if I shut down my Switch, because you need to know if you have your Switch jailbroken and you want to turn it on right now, as you can see, it would go directly into the normal Switch once again. So you would need to use this here once again to go into the recovery mode of your Nintendo Switch. But with the auto RCM activated, the only thing you need to do is to click once on the power button, okay? And as you can see right now, we don't have here like any RCM jig right now inside. And if we click now on Tigra RCM and open that up, as you can see, we have directly RCM OK, and we wouldn't have that without auto RCM. So auto RCM is removing this jig for you, so that you don't need to use it all the times when you are shutting down your Switch. So if we click then once again here on inject payload, it will directly go here inside. And this is something very helpful for many of you. And I just wanted to show it to you quickly here. So yeah guys, if you want to know more about the Switch scene, I just wanted to show you that I have here Switch School custom firmware, all of custom firmware Switch in one. And if you have like the right Patreon membership, you can go here inside and will get lots of videos in which I explain literally everything you need to know about the Nintendo Switch scene and how you can do things here inside. And it's like a very cool thing. It's very qualitative. I gave my best for those videos. I was really surprised how no one is actually talking about this. So I really hope that you appreciate it, that you like this video. Make sure to subscribe if you aren't right now, and I hope I'll see you in the next video. My name is You. Don't you ever forget to smile. I love all of you. Peace.